Stop running from the pauses. Let the silence have its say. I learned that rest is not a failure. It's another way.
I folded down into my pockets so it wouldn't lead the way. I didn't lose my direction, I just slowed the pace.
I kept my days well organized, but my nights were wearing thin. I thought control would keep me steady, but it only pulled me in.
I learned the cost of pushing forward when the body says it's done. Strength returned the moment I stopped pretending I was strong. Feel the quiet, didn't rush me back to noise. You said listen to what stays with you, that's your voice.
You didn't promise sudden clarity or tell me fear would end. You showed me trust is built from choosing to begin again.
So stay when the road feels slower, when the signs are hard to read. If I forget why I'm still here, help me see.
Progress feels like patience when nothing seems to move. If faith is choosing gentleness,
I choose you. I started trusting quiet effort, letting the small steps count. Not every climb needs witnesses, some just need the ground.
I learned that motivation isn't fire in the night. It's showing up with steady hands and choosing what is right.
When I feel it's we're intentional, still listening, still true. And in a world of arrest, I'm resting here with you. If I drift back into hurry, if I forget what's real,
I'll remind you why we slowed down and how it made us heal.
because love is quiet, balancing. Hope is breathing slow. And even on the gentlest roads, we're strong enough to go.
keep my guard, to never ask for more. I thought independence meant not leaning on a door.
I called it being disciplined. I called it being wise. But wisdom grows when you allow your heart to recognize.
Then you didn't need a reason, didn't push me to be brave. You said we'll move at human speed, that's how the strong behave.
You didn't clear the fear away. You didn't draw a line. You showed me trust is built in time, when someone stays in time.
So stay when faith feels quiet, when effort feels unseen. If I forget the road I chose, remind me what it means.
Stay when moving forward subtle, when progress whispers slow. If love is patient presence, I'm here. I'll go slow.
I started trusting repetition, letting consistency lead. Not every step needs celebration, some just mean we agree.
I learned that motivation isn't fire, isn't speed. It's choosing care and clarity when doubt is what you feel.
We're not fearless, we're committed, still choosing what is true. And in a world that rushes past, I'm staying here with you.
If I slip back into questions, if the night feels long again,
I'll remind you of this moment, and we'll begin again.
because love is steady courage and hope is daily proof. And even on the quiet roads, I believe in you.
I stopped asking nights for answers. Let the dark just be the dark. I when their waiting isn't weakness, it's how you guard your spark.
I held my dreams like quiet letters, not a sound but always true.
I didn't know you were prepared
For the moment I met you,
I cannot loss is like a habit. Corner don't and call the wise. I dream my heart stay founded, to never for the rise. I thought being strong is standing still, never leaning, never
know the feel. You said we'll take this step by step. I'm right here.
You didn't promise clear directions. You didn't clear the pain.
You showed the trust is choosing effort again and again.
So stay when patience feels heavy, when body feels hard to keep. If I forget what I'm able to keep, I'm unleash what it means.
Stay when progress feels invisible, when goals feel so small. That love is steady praises I won't fall.
I started trusting repetition,
Letting care become my way.
not every step means certainty.
Some just need good day.
I learned that motivation isn't for us a burning bright. It's choosing truth to tired hands or another night. When that feeling's wearing intentional, still choosing what is true. And in a world that moves too fast, I'm moving smooth with you.
If I drift back into silence, if the weight feels hard to face,
I'll remind you why we started.
and we'll keep our pace. Because love is quiet courage, and hope is staying kind, and even on the longest walls, I'm walking by your side. I learned to slow my breathing when the days felt much too loud. I stopped asking for permission to rest without feeling proud. I carried weight I never named, just so I wouldn't fall behind. But even strength needs somewhere quiet enough to lie.
I kept moving out of habit, calling motion being brave. I didn't notice I was tired, I just learned how to behave.
I thought stopping meant surrender, that momentum was my proof. But peace arrived the moment I told myself the truth. And you didn't rush the silence, didn't fill the empty space. You said let the quiet teach you, it's not something to erase.
You didn't promise resolution, you didn't clear the night. You showed me faith is choosing care when nothing feels right.
So stay when the pace feels heavy, when patience feels like doubt. If I forget why I'm still here, help me breathe it out. Stay when progress looks like resting, when effort feels unclear. If hope is something we protect, I'm keeping it right here. letting stillness be my guide. Not every step needs movement, some just need insight.
I learned that motivation isn't force or endless strive. It's choosing to continue and letting yourself arrive.
When I feel this, we're attentive, still listening for truth. And in a world that never stops, we choose what's human too. If I slip back into rushing, if the night feels hard to face,
I'll remind you why we slow down, and we'll keep our pace.
because love is patient presence, and hope is letting be. And even on the quiet roads, I'm walking here with me. I used to count the quiet hours like they owed me something back. I learned to smile through tired days and keep my feelings back.
I watch my dreams grow patient, waiting for a safer sign. I told myself just keep moving while I stay behind.
Carry down like habit, wore it like a second skin. I thought being self-reliant meant never letting anyone in.
I said love was complicated, timing never stayed. But every night felt heavier the more I walked away.
You didn't try to fix me, didn't ask me to explain. You said you don't have to hurry, some truths arrive with rain.
You didn't promise perfect, you didn't play it safe. You show me faith is choosing to stay when it's not easy. Stay when hope feels fragile, when the path looks thin and long. If I forget why I'm still trying, remind me I'm not wrong. Stay when love feels like a question, when believing needs a sign. If faith is built from ordinary days, let's take our time. I started trusting the small steps, letting progress look like rest. Not every win needs to be loud, some feel quiet but they last. I learned that motivation isn't fire that never fades. It's showing up with honesty on the hardest days.
We're not fearless, we're still learning, still choosing what is true. And in a world that keeps on trust is seeing through. And even on the quiet roads, I believe in me and you. I stopped chasing perfect mornings, let the day arrive as it. I learned that clarity appears when you don't dismiss. I kept my faith in small routines, the way I breathe, the way I stand. Some dreams don't need momentum, they just need a steady hand.
I used to measure worth by motion, count the miles I couldn't see. I thought direction meant acceleration, but it started finding me.
I learned to trust the quiet signals, the ones that don't insist. Progress isn't always louder, sometimes it's just persistence. Then you didn't rush the meaning, didn't frame it as a race. You said let the road explain itself at its own pace.
You didn't promise clear horizons or easy nights ahead. You showed me strength is choosing now, not fearing what's unsaid.
So stay when faith feels practical, when hope is calm and real. If I forget the shape of progress, help me feel.
Stay when movement looks like listening, when effort feels aligned. If love is quiet commitment, I'm in every time.
I started trusting consistency, letting days connect. Not every step needs confidence, some just need respect.
I learned that motivation isn't spark a sudden flame. It's showing up with steady care and choosing the same.
We're not fearless, we're deliberate, but still choosing what we know. And in a world that pulls us forward, we're moving slow. If I drift back into noise,
If I forget what's mine,
I'll remind you why we chose this road, and we'll hold the line. 'Cause love is shared direction, and hope is staying true. And even on the quiet miles, I'm walking here with you. I stop fighting every feeling, let the night say what it knows. I learned that some beginning come after letting go.
I carry fear like a secret, afraid it would be seen, but hiding from my own
far I've come. Remind me where I've been. Stay when the effort feels quiet, when nothing seems to change. If faith is choosing present, I'll choose it again.
I started trusting the rhythm, letting patience lead the way. Not every step needs direction, some just need the day.
I learned that motivation isn't pressure or demand. It's showing up with honesty and doing what you can.
We're not fearless, we're consistent, still choosing what is true.
And in a world that rushes past, I'm walking here with you. If I drift back into worry, if the night feels hard to face, I'll remind you why we started, and we'll keep our pace.
'Cause love is steady
Movement and hope is staying kind. And even on the quiet roads, I'm right here by your side.
I learned to forgive the pause, the days that didn't move. I stopped calling every silence something I had to lose.
I kept my heart in careful hands, afraid of breaking through, but holding back the honest parts was breaking me too.
I measure life with milestones, miss the spaces in between. I chased the proof of progress and forgot what rest could mean.
I said time would make me ready, that I know when I was strong, but strength was waiting quietly for me to come along.
Then you didn't ask for answers,
Didn't need a plan or sign. You said we'll take this one breath at a time. That's how we heal in time.
you didn't call my fears mistakes, you didn't rush my pace. You showed me growth is choosing care in every small brave place.
So stay when courage feels gentle, when effort feels unseen. If I forget the progress made, remind me what it means.
Stay when the work is ordinary, when no one's keeping score. If love is patient attention, I'll give it more.
I started trusting repetition, letting kindness be my guide. Not every step needs certainty, some just need to be tried.
I learned that motivation isn't loud or always clear. It's choosing to be present when the answers aren't here.
'cause love is steady practice, and hope is daily proof. And even on the quiet roads, I believe in you. I stopped explaining my silence to rooms that wouldn't hear. I learned some truths don't need witnesses, they just need time and care. I used to fight the empty hours, call them wasted space, but stillness taught me how to breathe without needing to escape.
I kept my heart in working order, never letting it slow down. I thought feeling less was safer than risking breaking ground. I mistook distance for protection and control for peace of mind. But peace arrived the moment I stopped leaving myself behind.
Then you didn't interrupt the quiet, didn't rush me back to noise. You said let the stillness stay a while, it knows your voice.
You didn't promise clear horizons or take the weight away. You showed me trust is built by choosing to stay with what remains.
So stay when the night feels honest, when pretending falls apart. If I forget that rest is progress, remind my heart.
Stay when healing looks like waiting, when nothing seems to move. If faith is choosing gentleness,
I choose you. I started trusting my own rhythm, letting calm define my speed. Not every step needs certainty, some just need belief.
I learned that motivation isn't loud or always clear. It's returning to the moment when the answers disappear.
We're not fearless, we're attentive, still listening for truth. And in a world that never pauses, we choose what's human too.
If I slip back into effort, if I forget to feel,
I'll remind you why we stopped here and how it helped us heal.
because love is quiet presence and hope is letting be. And even on the empty roads, I'm finally with me. to hear my footsteps in hallways I walked alone. Every wall knew my question, every night felt overgrown.
I told myself to stay busy so the silence wouldn't talk, but the truth kept finding me every time I stopped to walk.
I tried to outrun the feeling, but something inside was tired. I fill my days with motion, but my heart stayed uninspired.
I said time would fix the fractures, that effort would make it right, but healing isn't speed or noise, it's staying through the night. Then you didn't ask for answers, didn't need me to pretend. You said you don't have to be ready, you just have to begin.
You didn't promise easy days or tell me fear would fade. You showed me strength is choosing truth in every choice we make. So stay when the work feels quiet, when progress feels unseen. If I forget the reason why, remind me who I've been. Stay when belief feels fragile, when patience feels like pain. If love is built from showing up, I'll show up again.
I started trusting the process, letting slow become my pace. Not every step needs witnesses, some just need their place.
I learned that motivation isn't shouting to be strong, it's waking up and choosing right when everything feels wrong.
We're not fearless, we're still learning, still building something true. And in a world that keeps on leaving, I'm staying here with you. If I drift back into doubt, if the light feels far away,
I'll remind you why you started, and we'll choose another day. Because love is steady effort, and hope is daily proof. And even on the loneliest roads, I believe in you.
keep my promises, the quiet ones I made. Not every vow is spoken loud, some grow in shade. I stopped asking if it's working, started asking if it's true. Some roads don't show their progress till they carry you.
I used to change directions when the nights grew long. I thought staying meant missing out or being wrong. But every turn I didn't take left something unfinished behind. So I presence, not the way.
So stay when certainty is absent, when the signs of you. If I forget why this matters, stay true. Stay when effort feels repetitive, when days look much the same. If love is choosing consistency, I'll choose it again. I started trusting dedication, letting routine hold. Not every day needs inspiration, some just need to unfold.
I learned that motivation isn't newness or surprise. It's returning to the reason behind the choice.
When I feel this, we're committed, still choosing what we know. And in a world that keeps on leaving, we don't go.
If I drift into impatience,
If the night feels long,
I'll remind you why we stayed here.
and we'll carry on. Because love is quiet loyalty, and hope is staying kind. And even on the longest roads, I'm walking by your side.
I learned to live between the lines, where silence keeps its truth. I folded hope into my nights, so it wouldn't feel abused.
I watch the city breathing slow, through windows made of doubt. I told myself I'm strong alone, but strength is tired out.
I carried days that felt too long, pretended I was fine. I hid my faith behind my plans and called it discipline.
I thought control would keep me safe from falling once again, but every step felt heavier until you said my name.
You didn't rush the broken parts, you didn't ask for proof. You said we'll take it day by day, that's how believing moves. You didn't sell me easy hope or promise perfect skies. You showed me trust is something built when someone stays in trash.
So stay when nights feel endless, when the old fears start to rise. If I forget the road I chose, look me in the eyes.
Stay when progress feels invisible, when patience runs thin. If love is doing the small things right, let's begin again.
I started trusting quiet wins, letting effort slips away.
I'll remind you of this moment, and we'll choose the day.
Because love is steady effort, and faith is choosing light. And even on the quiet roads, we walk them side by side. I learned to sit with my thoughts when the noise finally went away. I stopped asking for shortcuts, started earning every day. I watched the mirror teach me things I didn't want to hear. The strength isn't never breaking, it's standing while you're here.
I spent years running from silence, filling space with anything loud. I thought movement meant progress, but I was just lost in the crowd.
I told myself I was focused, the rest was a dangerous thing. But burning out isn't winning, it's forgetting how to breathe. Then you didn't judge my pause, didn't rush my pace. You said growth doesn't always look busy, sometimes it looks like space.
You didn't hand me answers, you didn't lift my weight. You showed me belief is something you build when you stay.
So stay when the doubt gets louder, when the old habits pull me back. If I forget how far I've come, remind me of the past. Stay when progress feels invisible, when patience feels like pain. If faith is choosing to continue, I'll choose again. I started trusting my rhythm, letting slow feel strong. Not every step needs applause, some just mean you moved on.
I learned that motivation isn't pressure, isn't fear. It's waking up with intention, even when clarity's not here.
We're not finished, we're not flawless, but we're honest in the climb. And in a world that rushes forward, we're taking time.
If I fall back into old thinking, if my courage feels delayed,
I'll remind you why you started, and we'll choose the day. Because love is shared direction, and trust is staying true. And even when the road feels empty, I believe in you. promises that never came. I packed my dreams in quiet boxes so they wouldn't feel ashamed.
I told myself to lower hope, to keep my balance, keep control. But every night I felt the truth. You can't shrink a living soul.
I trained myself to be prepared for losing things before they stay. I thought expecting less would hurt less. That's how I learned to look away.
I called it being realistic, I called it keeping strong.
But strength without connection is just carrying on. Then you listen without fixing, didn't rush my broken pace. You said you don't have to prove yourself, you're allowed to take your space.
You didn't promise perfect timing, you didn't clear my fear. You showed me trust is built in moments when someone's still right here.
Stay when confidence is fragile, when the old doubts reappear. If I forget what I'm becoming, remind me why I'm here. Stay when moving forward's quiet, when no one's cheering yet. Faith is choosing effort daily, I'm choosing it again. I started trusting consistency, letting patience be my guide. Not every step needs recognition, some just mean I tried.
I learned that motivation isn't fire that never bends. It's showing up with honest effort and beginning again.
When I feel it's we're committed, still learning how to grow. And in a world that wants us rushing, we're moving slow.
If I drift back into self-doubt, if my courage runs thin,
I'll remind you of this promise, and we'll begin again.
because love is steady presence and hope is staying true.
And even when the road feels empty,
I believe in you.
I stopped asking the night for signs, let the stars just be. I learned some answers show themselves when you set them free. I folded fear into my breath so it wouldn't leave my way. I didn't lose what mattered most, I just learned to stay.
I kept my goals in straightened lines, measured days by game. I thought the heart was something you could train against the pain. But peace arrived unannounced. In moments I stood still. It wasn't fixing everything, it was learning how to feel.
And you didn't rush the quiet,
promise clear results, a quick relief from doubt. You show me trust is choosing care when clarity runs out.
So stay when hope is gentle, when belief is soft and slow. If I forget what patience builds, remind me what I know. Stay when progress feels like listening, when effort whispers low. If faith is choosing kindness, I'll go slow. I started trusting the in-between, letting quiet be enough. Not every dream needs urgency, some grow slow and tough.
I learned that motivation isn't force or bright display. It's returning to the intention at the end of every day.
We're not fearless, we're aligned, still choosing what is true. And in a world that never pauses, I'm pausing here with you.
If I drift back into hurry, if the night feels hard to